What do you feel like people need to know about you to put you in that category with these elite players?
Man, well, first they just need to know about me. Know that I exist. Know that I'm here to provide. I'm here as a healer. I think with what I do as a musician, my music is a healing. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I still feel like an alien here.
Do you feel like you'd be comfortable playing back overseas with the people in the crowd?
The craziest thing that I did do on the tour, I was playing with Blackpink, and I got like this yellow wig. And so one day, Lil Wayne, they needed a guitarist. And the company called me and said, hey, we would like to hire a Guitarslayer. I was like, cool, so what does that mean for y'all? Because it's a difference in hiring Justin and then hiring Guitarslayer. Mm-hmm. Like Justin, Lil Wayne didn't know who I was either. But once he heard me playing, he was just like, I like this guy. I didn't know how to approach the hip hop community. You know, like my first show, I think we went, I had on an astronaut suit. Man, I was sweating so in that thing, man. But this night I put on the wings and everybody was in the ears like, man, what this dude doing? Wayne walked out there and like, yeah, yo, that's dope. Hey, I fuck with this dude right here. And then there came a moment and I was like, I just trusted what I gave. You know what I'm saying?
Wayne takes us to the back and is like, hey, I just saved your ass.
No, man.
Like,
yo, that's good.
Like, he's like, hey, now you owe me a favor.
Yo, that's funny, man. That's so funny.
Nobody ever asked me that question before.
What the hell? Stop.
Niggas, I ain't coming on the show again.
I come in here, it looks professional. Tune into the content.
Like you were telling you guys, I'm like,
I like when people have good questions.
Welcome back to another episode of Direct Discussions Podcast, and we are gathered here today to interview Justin Lyons, aka Guitarslayer 24. Justin, how are you doing today?
Man, I'm good, man. It's been an interesting week.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't really know much about you, man, other than what I've been told, and maybe I've done a little bit of research, you know, scrolling on Instagram just like everybody else. How would you describe yourself to begin with? Who are you?
Well, definitely first and foremost, a musician, you know, producer, planned for and have played for many A-list artists in the industry, you know. But I spent like 10 years doing K-pop. Did a lot of K-pop stuff, and over the years, I just developed as an artist developer, creative director, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm Dallas-based, born and raised here, bred here, but cultivated, you know, by a lot of my travels, you know.
No, I completely understand, and that's kind of one of the beautiful things that we see about traveling, because whenever somebody travels like you know, you're exposed to so many different things outside of the, you know, place that you grew up at, right. But also too, you don't want to forget where you came from too. So, being from Dallas, being a Dallas-based artist, how do you shape your sound and the opportunities that are presented to you in the city?
Well, I think I shape my sound just from traveling. You know, just like with food, you find your favorite food, you find like a favorite dish, or you find like favorite fashion, and it's all cultivated from like other countries and stuff. And since I'm like in a top level of entertainment, I'm around a lot of elite players, elite producers. So I'm able to just, you know, see what's working, see what's not, and I listen to the younger generation too. The younger generation, they're amazing with what's going on, but I keep my ear to the ground. I do a lot of reading and studying, you know what I'm saying? So all of those things help cultivate my sound, my style, and then just the connection that I spend in my faith, you know what I'm saying? I think I get a lot of sauce from God above, personally.
No, most definitely, man, because it's one of those things where, like, I like to look at it as if he planted that seed in you, it's up to you to water that seed.
For sure.
So, but you're at this point in your career right now where you're touring with a bunch of A-listers, MGK, you've been on Jimmy Fallon and all that. But at what point in your life when you were younger did you realize this was the move for you and this is the path that you knew you wanted to be on?
Man, honestly, it wasn't until like my early 20s, if I'm being honest. You know, I didn't think that music and entertainment was a means to an end at the point in time, you know, especially being like on a local musician scene growing up, like in my teens, playing at clubs, et cetera, et cetera. That wasn't, you know, sufficing enough to like support a family, et cetera. But now that I'm in a different realm, there are so many ways to make money. There are so many job opportunities. There are so, just like with creating content, you know what I'm saying? Just being able to find your space and blow it up. Like you said, water that seed, you know?
No, for sure. And I know, like, looking back at it and talking to other people that I've been in contact with, the music space here in Dallas is basically non-existent until a couple of years ago. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. We've had Yellow Beezy kind of put us on the map for a little bit, and now Big X The Plug is putting us Leon Bridges. You know, they're putting the Metroplex back on the map. So what do you feel like people need to know about you to put you in that category with these elite players?
Man, well, first they just need to know about me. You know that I exist. Know that I'm here to provide. I'm here as a healer. I think with what I do as a musician, my music is a healing source. A lot of people, like, mental health is like one of my driving forces right now, and I know that with my music, I'm aiding that. Through what you hear from me, through my interactions on stage, all of that, man. And I want people to see that and walk away full, because it's a lot of emptiness going around. You know what I'm saying?
No, 100%. I was talking to some of your people a few hours ago about this one band that I'm connected with. And here's the thing. I was more connected with the bass player at the time when he led his own band. And then he pulled back and he, you know, I talked to him and he told me, man, it takes a lot of pride to put aside whenever you decide to, like, say, hey, I'm cool playing my role. My role is what I'm good at. Let me do my role. So when it comes to touring, aside from that, you look at other people in the music industry and then you study them, right? You're out there, and, you know, you're probably just, you know, shooting the shit with your group, but you've run across some other people. You've been inspired by some other people. And what are some of the people that inspired you to be the musician you are today?
Man, he's not living anymore, but like, I'll take like the Prince, you know. Prince is somebody that gave the definition of artistry. But working with like a Machine Gun Kelly right now, he's giving the people a real dose of what an artist is, from him coming out as a rapper and then singing, then playing guitar, now dancing. Me being in his band and seeing that, it's inspiration to me as well, you know, even though I come from all of that, but seeing the vulnerability in that and how he has to give that every night when he's in his head like, man, am I good enough? Can I do this? But he gets in front of thousands and thousands of people. So that inspires me, because as an artist, and as you know, like, man, we insecure about a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're confident in our gift, but it's certain things that we just be in our head about.
100%. I have that same conversation with comedians all the time, man. Like, there's a couple of comedians I do content with, and they tell me the same thing. They're like, man, I get off that stage and that laugh doesn't sound right to me. Yep. I'm like, nah, bro, they're their own biggest critic, man.
Yeah. And it's only to get us better, you know? Like, for me, I come from a sports world, so I'm always looking at everything as a field goal percentage. Like, we start at song number 1. If it's 20 songs, I'm basing it off of, like, those 20 songs that we're doing. Once I get to song 3, I'm like, okay, I made it through 1 through 3 perfectly. My field goal percentage is 100 right now. If I mess up on the next song, I'm like, I got to go back and correct that part of that song. Now I've dropped down to a 98 field goal percentage, you know?
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the things that you have to put into perspective, because if you think about it, and it depends on what artist you're working with or who you're with, but sometimes, you know, they're playing voiceovers over the thing, but as a guitar player, man, your hands are on the guitar. You make one bad note, the crowd is going to hear it. So if that ever happens to you, how do you react to that?
Man, it's actually fun when those things happen. It keeps the show interesting, you know, and it keeps a realism to it. So for me, if I make a wrong move or a bad note, I turn it into a like a pivot, you know, like an audible, like, all right, here we go. I messed up the note, but let me make it do something different, or take it. Just, you know,
you pull out the whammy bar and just like, I meant to do that.
Yeah, you know, and nobody knows but you know, and until you tell them, like, man, I messed up on this part, nobody would know. But that's about improv, man, and just having fun with it. And that's something that I try to remind myself. Have fun, man. Just
yeah, for sure. So I know you mentioned Prince being one of your influences, but is there anybody else that you take influence from, that you've looked up, other guitar players, perhaps, bands? And, you know, we can talk 80s, 90s, modern day.
Yeah, man. This gonna sound crazy, but come from the old school energy from my dad being a guitarist as well. But my mom helped me to, like, B.B. King, like, feeling his soul, feeling the soul and how he approaches his instrument is something that I still carry today. I want those notes that I hit to resonate in you, you know? But there's a lot of different bands, man. I had a chance to hang out with David Grohl and his crew overseas, man, with the whole punk pop movement when we were doing mainstream and tickets. You know what I'm saying? That was fun. I definitely have enjoyed listening to and studying the Beatles, just their simplicities, just even like their brilliance. And like one time they had to get out of, I believe, like a record deal, and they was like, yo, we need songs. So they came up with the 2-minute song thing, you know?
Yeah.
And they're the ones that created like songs being shorter than what we know as a spin song, which is supposed to be 3.5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So like learning little tips and little tricks from like the ones before us is like real cool to gravitate towards, you know?
Yeah. No, for sure.
What's your favorite band, man?
So, my favorite band, well, it kind of fluctuates because, you know, as a musician, you know, when you're in different kind of seasons, right?
Yeah,
you know, some days you're feeling maybe 90s alternative. Some days you're feeling some of the newer stuff. Right now, well, I guess if you want to say my favorite band of all time is probably somebody on this wall, but I can only say that when I'm feeling them. Because right now, dude, I'm listening to I'm listening to that album right there, Galimatias.
Okay.
He's I don't know if you heard of him or not, but he's European. He's from over there. But that album right there, bro, Renaissance Boy, fire, dude. He produces his own shit, bro. That shit is on fucking repeat all the fucking time, dude.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna check him out.
But when I'm listening to my 90s stuff, I mean, I'm a big Chris Cornell guy, to be honest with you, man. Like, you know, Audio Slave, Soundgarden, his personal shit he did back when he was putting his daughter on some music too, man. That whole little phase before he passed away, man. I tell you, Chris Cornell was one of the only musicians I wish I would have saw before before that happened.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Prince. I hate that I didn't get to see him or have him to hear me play before he died, because I would have wanted to know what he thought about my playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, man, what did you feel anything? Did you hear anything? Like, you know, but I trust what I do and how I bring it, that I'm sure he would have been like super proud.
No, 100%. And here's the beautiful dynamic I like about that. You know, you're measuring yourself up to Prince, but I'm sure there is somebody in that stage when you're playing in the crowd, they're looking at you and they're like, man, that's a good ass guitar player. Yeah. Now they're measuring themselves up to you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I get that a lot, man, and it's always inspiring. You know what I'm saying? It's hella inspiring, especially when I get the compliments like, yo, you remind me of modern day Prince. You know, I think when I'm on stage versus just sitting here chilling, it's a total different night and day, you know?
No, for sure, man. I want to pivot this conversation a little bit towards the recent tour you had with MGK. Okay. How was that experience night after night?
You know what? It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable because of the connection that we were having. We were just starting right back at ground zero. We're hitting like dive bars. And that was so like different from what we've been doing because we've just been doing stadiums and arenas and stuff, you know. So to do like 200 occupancy of people, being on roof, like being in people's backyards, like it was fun. It was fun. It was free, and seeing Kels, I call him Kels, MGK, be free and happy in this particular state. For me, I'm like, yo, all right, we're selling now. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. Yeah. Because and I've met a lot of people who are at that level in a sense where it's sort of hard for them to come back down and enjoy what reality is. Yeah. That literal connection that you have with the fans. Like, yeah, you can be playing an arena show, whatever, right? And then just run to your locker room and then go back and then, all right, on to the next city. But when you have that connection with the fans like you did yourself with MGK playing those smaller shows, how did that make you feel like whenever, show's over, you're at the table selling merch, passing out flyers, all that? How does you connecting with your fans affect the way you play music out there?
It makes me play with more passion and intention. I had a lot of people come up to me and just let me know, like, hey man, I'm learning gratefulness from you, or I'm watching your page and how you post and how you play, and it's starting to make sense of your storytelling. Hey, I'm inspired by you. I had one young lady to come up to me at the show, and she was just like, what inspires you? What makes you happy? And that actually caught me off guard.
That's got to be one of the biggest compliments somebody can get, because they see that light in you and they realize, man, that dude's obviously doing something right, so I need to take notes and study.
Yeah, for sure. And the world that we're in, it's easy for it to be, depicted as a dark world, and it can be dark. But it's just up to, carrying the light and just kind of staying focused and trying to be balanced in all of it.
So what are some of the things that you do to carry that light and make sure that light's turned on for you when you're on the stage?
Man, honestly, man, for me and my walk, man, it is some prayer and meditation, I also watch like a YouTube, like an hour-long YouTube clip of like Prince's best guitar solos. And that's just something that just kind of keeps me inspired. It's something that just kind of keeps me in a place of like, hey, yo, this dude is like giving me the inspiration I need right now. But also just being able to see myself doing that, being able to like see myself in front of people, those things keep me like going,
No, for sure. And since you're saying, you're talking about seeing yourself and your walk of faith and whatnot. At any point in time, did you feel like your faith was being challenged by mainstream media? And how do you react to that?
I don't. I think what I do is mission work. I think I only have a moment with a person. Wherever we are in this world, I only have that moment with you. So it's either I'm going to make your day brighter, make that moment brighter, or make it go to hell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So those things is definitely what keeps my faith just at a place of just, hey, man, you got to stay centered as much as possible because people need you right now. Even my band needs me. I got to be in top tip shape for my band, but my family needs me. And I'm not going to even lie to you, man. Sometimes it does get heavy. You know what I'm saying? Being out there on the road, and it can feel super lonely, too. Turning up is one thing, but once you get back to that room by yourself and you trying to make sure you're the best you, like even lately, man, I've been having to, like, just hone in on, like, a different mentality. Like, I've been, like, absorbing, like, the Mamba mentality for whatever reason, just because his focus and how he was able to be the best at, and I want to be the best at this, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know it's a lot of people that want to be the best at what they do, man. I want to be the best at this. As a producer, as a musician, creative director, I want to change somebody's life with this. So it's important to me to be the absolute best, man.
Yeah, you know what they say, man. Heavy is the head who wears the crown.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But you gotta have a wide neck for that, man, to be honest.
Yeah, man. You know what? I'm super talented, dude. God bless me with a lot of gifts, and I've done my due diligence. I feel that like remaining humble. It's a lot of people don't know half the stuff I know how to do, and I just like kind of stay in this humble bubble, man. And that when it's time for it to come out, it will. You know?
Oh no, for sure. It's kind of like some of the pro wrestlers that I know outside of the ring, shyest people in the world, bro. Don't all to
Yeah,
themselves and
yeah.
whatnot. But they get on stage, they're putting a whole different
But you
persona.
know why though? A lot of it is because us as artists, man, we really have to protect our energy. Like the moment you come in contact with somebody, the moment you touch somebody, that's an energy transfer. It's a lot of things that go into it, man, and not a lot of people have the best. What's the word?
Intentions.
Yeah, you know, not a lot of people have the best intentions for you. So it's just about being like very aware and conscious of like what you're encountering. So when they are going back and getting in the rooms, because I do it often too, man. As soon as we get off stage, like I just really want isolation for a second.
Yeah.
Because we're always shaking hands, kissing babies, and taking photos, which we love, and we know that it's making them excited. But dude, it can be a lot, you know.
No, 100%. So let's pivot this conversation in a way where I'm curious to know because somebody mentioned that you were on Jimmy Fallon. And how was that experience like?
Man, Jimmy Fallon is one of the top like late night shows, man. And when I was doing K-pop for 10 years, like I think out of the 10 years we were only on the American platform. It was the James Corden show. But as a musician being here in America and taking on like the American legs and stuff, like to do a Jimmy Fallon show or any late night show, or man, it's an honor. It's an honor. And then just seeing like Captain Kirk, who's the lead guitarist for The Roots, being in the same facility and meeting him and him telling me, yo, brother, I'm watching you, man. You're bad. Like that's dope coming from the legends of The Roots, which everybody loves.
Yeah.
You know, so knowing that he's in the position of Jimmy Fallon's like main guitarist on that show, that was fire. But being on the set of Jimmy Fallon and just seeing like how the lights and the cameras work, man, everything was top tier. So I was like absorbing energy and I was learning from absolutely all of it, you know?
Did you ever think as a kid you'd be on a late night show?
No way. No way. You remember when we were younger and Apollo used to be, you know?
Yeah.
My mom signed me up to do Apollo, but I was too afraid, you know? I was like 8 years old. My mom was like, I want the world to see you play. I'm like, Mom, I can't be in front of all those people. You know, so now I'm doing it professionally and I'm in front of thousands and thousands of people. It's a cakewalk.
So what's that energy like when you're in front of, arenas of people, big venues, American Airlines Center, for example? How's that like?
Man, it's almost like I've never been in a spaceship before, you know? But it's like, I would imagine it's like sitting in a spaceship and it's just rumbling and like you're ready to take off and like you just go to the moon. Like the energy is ridiculous. Like you asked me about being out with MGK over these past few weeks.
Yeah.
Like even when we was performing on MGK Day, like we were on grass, dude. We were on grass. And there was a part in the song where everybody was like going up and down, and the grass started moving. And we all got like panicked because my dude Slim, who's the music director, he was like, hey, yo, we got to stop doing this song because it's making everybody go crazy. But it's just the energy, man. The energy is so vibrant. It's so wild. The fans are so wild. So just feeling everybody's energy in one frequency is just powerful, dude. You know what I'm saying?
So would you, I guess your stage presence, there's some guitarists who just kind of stay at their stand and just kind of play their thing. There's some that like to be a little bit showboaty. Some like to put the guitar over their head. Yeah. Do you feel like that energy channels you into playing your role as not only a guitar player, but a performer as well?
I think I'm a performer first. Yeah, I think in what we do, you have to be a performer. I just happen to have a guitar in my hand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So me dancing, me jumping around, I'm adding to the show. It's a part of the show. It's a part of the energy. And most times it's what the song is making me feel. So I want it to translate, you know. And there's been a time where we are standing still, and my homie would say, "Hey man, y'all look like Chuck E. Cheese right now." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know. But that's a great pointer for me to understand, like visualize, like, okay, I know what he meant, because the Chuck E. Cheese dolls, they just standing there and just robots. So as a musician, I would encourage all musicians, like, hey, perform, learn the art of performing. Like it'll take you further. You know?
Yeah, swing that guitar around your neck and still play it.
All of that, you know, use it as a skateboard, use it as a surfboard, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It just adds to the energy. You know?
Right? Just go ahead and break that guitar, and it's okay. It's a tax write-off.
It's a tax write-off, and the company will send us another one. You know?
Oh man. So I know we touched about you know, your meditation, your grounding, when you know, how you keep yourself centered through all of that. But what's that ritual like for you? What does it mean for Justin to become a centered person after a long day on the road or at a show that's been gone for X amount of hours? Just walk us through it. Just, you know, just you getting off. All right, cool. All right, see you. Good night. You already came out, played the encore. You know, all right, encore's played. All right, for real this time. Lights are up. You guys are walking to the back. How do you clear your head? How do you get back to earth?
First, I dap up everybody, just doing a good show. Anybody that I come into contact with that I'm walking past. And then I take off my ears and I just kind of sit in silence for just a second. Because in our ears, we're hearing everything from the talk back to the show. Hey, the lights up. Hey, watch out for pyro. Hey, this song is next. So once we take those ears off, there is like a constant ringing that's happening anyway. So when I'm going back, man, and I'm sweaty, I'm sitting there, I need water, just taking a moment to just like, first, I just say, yo, thank you, God, for a successful show. You know, that nobody was hurt. We're all good. And then I breathe for a little bit. And then the guys might be like, hey, let's take a shot or something. You know what I'm saying? Just so we can, like, we got that out of us, man. But I contact my family or my loved one, you know, and just be like, hey, yo, it was a great show. But it is definitely like, let me put on my hoodie, let me zone out for a second, and, like, everybody please leave me alone for a second.
No, for sure. And one thing I did like about that is that one of the things that you like to do is contact your family, man, because I think that's so key, especially with you being out away from loved ones all the time. And then, you know, they say that the people that you're on tour with are like your family, but let's be honest, they are not your family.
They're not, but they are.
No,
you know,
100%,
for sure.
100%. But you get what I'm saying? Like, you know, when it's all said and done, like, you need to talk to your mom, your pops, sister, brother. Hey, how are y'all? How's things at the house? Everything okay? Those things, they take a little bit more of a priority. And like you mentioned, just being on the road and trying to balance, like, home life and that. I think that's very important, because there's a lot of people that I know that once fame gets to their head or success, they're like, all right, I don't need my family anymore. But the fact that you put that connection with your family at a higher level while you're out there being the guitarist that you are, I think that's a very important thing to take away from you being as an artist at that level.
Oh, yeah, man. I think it's super important, man. Taking my family, you know, it's a lot of us do it. Hit up our lady, hit up our moms, hit up our dad, grandmother, all of that. Like, I recently lost my grandfather at the top of this year. So one of my main things that I've been doing is reaching out to my grandmother way more. You know, even if I'm about to walk on stage or just got off stage, calling her just to make sure, hey, she's good, or letting her know, like, hey, yo, we just finished the show. Oh, hey, yo, tune in. We're about to go live right now, you know. So having my family ride that wave with me is important. But they still don't know what's going on, man. So it ends up feeling like a little lonely still. But it's great. Like, when I talk about it being lonely or whatever, I'm not trying to give like a sad sob story.
No, for sure.
Whatsoever. Like, it's fire being on this side of the game. You know what I'm saying? But like, those other things matter to us too, just like they would anybody else. You know, just having your core, man.
No, exactly. And I like to look at this conversation that we're having about family and the people that we work with, essentially, in the sense that we are different versions to ourselves, to everybody in our lives. You're a brother to some, you're a grandson to others, you're a band member to this person, you're a partner to this person. And it's very important to know how to play that role with them. So, and like you said, most of the time, yeah, they are listening to you, your family,
sure.
but they don't understand you like the band members.
Yeah.
Because, hey, this ringing in my ear that won't go away, homeboy has it too.
Yeah.
He knows what to do about it.
Yeah. And this particular band has taught me a lot about brotherhood, man. Like they started from the bottom together. Like sleeping on floors together, sleeping in cars together, homeless together, whatever it may have been. Like these guys have been there together. So seeing that their hard work is paying off for them in a different way now, like it's a lesson to me too. But their family origin, man, and how they are, it just teaches me a lot. And to be embraced in that, and now what I'm learning in their brotherhood, like I'm able to like cultivate different brotherhoods outside, with my peers,
No, 100%. Because I think one of the important things about brotherhood is that in order to make it happen the right way, you need to align yourself with some top players, some dudes that are out here trying to get it out the mud, bro. Not no slime bag who's trying to ride your coattails or whatever, but somebody who is holding you accountable, who is setting an example for you, and you're doing the same for the others.
Yeah, for sure, man. Nah, you hit it right on the mark, man. And right now, man, in this new state that I'm in, man, I'm just trying to cultivate the next generation. I don't want to compete with them. I want to help them.
No, for sure, man, because it's weird because everybody always goes back to, oh, this old generation was a lot better than this. But it's only the old head saying that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the younger market determines what is good and what is bad. And you can either help them or you can fight them until the end and lose. Because one of the most important things about that is adaptability. If you cannot adapt, then you are bound to perish.
That's deep, man. That's deep. That's a bar. But we are all adaptive creatures, though. Like, we're designed to be adaptive. But we get in our own way and we get stuck. You know what I'm saying? And then you, like you said, you'll end up perishing.
Yeah.
So that ain't the goal here, man.
So you've been on this 3-week tour and we've touched about that. But is there any particular cities you like playing in?
Man, I won't say playing in, because I feel like once we get to like a certain city, the same kind of stage setup, it could all kind of feel the same.
Including the energy of the crowd or what?
It's almost like we try our best not to even allow ourselves to get on autopilot. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I sensed, I think we all kind of had, like, a different energy towards even, like, this little 2-3 week run we did. Like, the energy shifted towards the last 2 or 3 shows just because, man, just from city to city, bus ride, airplane here, limited rest, et cetera, But it's all a part of the game. It's all a part of the journey. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure, man. So I saw something on the internet where you won a Fender Tone Master pedal.
Oh, yeah,
You were debuting that. Can you tell me about that? And then let's make this honest. This is all for those guitar people out there. If you know what we're talking about, then keep watching.
Yeah, man. Fender Tone Master Pro. And this is not a paid.
Fender sends you a guitar after. I appreciate the shout out.
Yeah. But I'm actually endorsed with Paul Reed Smith.
Oh, okay.
Their guitar company, man. It was like they're like in the top 3 of guitar games for any guitar players out there that's watching. But the Fender Tone Master foot pedal is something new that they just came out with. And, man, I have been searching tones for years. But with this particular tour, I've been with MGK for 4.5 years now.
No.
So it's different from when I was playing with Lil Wayne. When I was playing with Lil Wayne, like my sounds, my tones, what I was using, it was totally different. But now I'm coming into this punk pop world, where now it's just mainstream pop world. Like the tones and the translation of tones with guitar is just totally different from what was used in the studio. So this pedal, man, has like absolutely everything in it from, because nowadays we're going more digital, so we don't have to have actual amps on stage with us.
Yeah, for sure.
But this has like every amp model you can name, every pedal that I would probably go to Guitar Center and buy. It's all already inside of it. And just going in there and just click of a button and give me the right tones that matches this particular tour, this particular album, man, it's just been a breeze, dude. Like, because we were using Kemper. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it or not.
I mean, the most experience I've gotten with a guitar is maybe playing at church.
Fire.
And then learning in high school, relearning again. But then, you know, you kind of just, passion doesn't really stick with you for too long, and then you kind of forget it. Like,
Gotcha.
I used to be able to play a couple of Nirvana songs just going on the chords alone.
Yeah.
And then my daughter was like, "Can you learn how to play guitar again?" I was like, "Okay, so I know where the notes are at, right?"
Cool.
I'm like, "I know where your notes are at all throughout the fretboard, but do I have the dexterity? I don't think so."
Yeah, but that's
But
cool.
general
that your daughter
knowledge-
wanted you to though.
Yeah.
That's real cool.
Yeah, so I put up some tabs, and I started just playing some easy ones like The Man Who Sold the World. I was playing that because I mean that's obviously an easy one. Dun-na-na-na-na. And she was like, "Wow, you know how to play guitar?" I was like, "Not like these other people," but hey, I mean,
But to her, you're a rock star.
hey.
So.
Yeah, it's funny because behind your assistant over there, there's a guitar that I've been having since I was in like high school.
Wow.
So I've just kind of had it. I mean, I sold the amp, but I just, you know, it's always just like I like to keep little things around where it's like, yeah, that was a part of me at one point in time where I didn't, you know, and I'm real big into music, bro. Like, to be honest with you, I like all kinds of music, but it's kind of crazy because you mentioned Lil Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
How did that come about, and what other artists have you played with? You know, because Lil Wayne, you mentioning Lil Wayne, complete sideball, bro. I'm listening to the good. Yeah. Like I said, I mean, like, let's talk about it, bro.
100. Yeah, man. I did Lil Wayne the same time I was doing like Blackpink, like one of my last years with Blackpink, before COVID hit, and that came about because of my music director that I was doing like a lot of the K-pop stuff with. He had a lot of counts with Lil Wayne, Carrie Hilson. He was doing Aaliyah when Aaliyah was around. Genuine. His list is just crazy. But I had an opportunity to work with him for the K-pop stuff. And so one day, Lil Wayne, they needed a guitarist. And the company called me and said, "Hey, we would like to hire a Guitarslayer." And I was like, "Cool, so what does that mean for y'all?" Because it's a difference in hiring Justin and then hiring Guitarslayer. Like, Justin is like, "Hey, just come in, play the parts. We just need a guitar," like a session player.
Yeah, for sure.
But Guitarslayer is the artist. So they wanted me to occupy the stage just like Lil Wayne was. They want me to go crazy just like Lil Wayne was. Walk the stage, interact with Lil Wayne, et cetera, et cetera. And Lil Wayne didn't know who I was either. But once he heard me playing, he was just like, "I like this guy." And that was my first introduction to playing like hip hop, because I grew up gospel, jazz, blues, you know?
Yeah.
So, and then when I got older, I started doing R&B, started doing like Chrisette Michelle, started doing Vivian Green, Eric Roberson, Geno Young, all of these neo soul and R&B artists, you know. Even started doing like some records with Tank, got some records out with him in the R&B sector. But then I got hooked up with Lil Wayne, and that's how I met Travis Barker. Because we was doing the Lil Wayne and Blink-182 tour.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and Travis would always come out and watch me. Well, I thought he was coming out to watch the show.
Yeah.
But he ended up later on telling me, "Yeah, man, I was coming out to watch you, man, and I was impressed with what you was giving, man. I don't know who you are, where you come from." And I was like, "Man, I have been in Korea and Asia for 10 years. So touching land here in America and taking on America, it was big for me, a personal big, you know." And then he's the one that hit me up to do MGK. It's just all in relationship, man. Same thing. MGK needed a guitarist. They was getting ready for a tour, their first tour since COVID. Travis Barker called me and was like, "Hey, yo, are you out with anybody?" I'm like, "Nah, what's up? My friend need a guitarist. Are you available?" It was him calling, so I didn't even care to ask who. I was just like, "All right, cool, I got you. Who is it?" And he said, "Machine Gun Kelly." And I was like, "Word, dope. Cool. Let me tap in. This is a genre I have not tapped into. Let me add that to my belt too." He connected the dots, man, and it's been lights out. So doing hip hop is totally different from doing this punk rock stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Night and day, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you know that throughout that whole story, it takes me back to this one saying that I tell people all the time. Opportunity presents themselves to those who are willing to accept it.
That's true.
Yeah, because opportunities can be left and right, and you might not even know. Because, I mean, you could have asked a million questions, right?
Yeah.
To Travis Barker, you could have been like, "Who's this? Blah, blah, blah. How much are they paying? This and that." But no, you accepted it right off the bat, and that put you in the position that you are now.
For sure.
But before all of that happened, we keep talking about the K-pop stuff. Let's talk about it, man. I want to talk, because that's more you than what this new version of you is, in a sense. Like, you just mentioned Asia, you've mentioned, K-pop, Blackpink. I want to touch on that because I feel like a lot of people need to know where you came from in order to understand who you are now.
For sure. Yeah, man. I got connected with the K-pop industry back in 2011, and we were brought in to like integrate or cultivate like a more urban flavor to K-pop music. So we were the first band. We were called the Band 6 at the time. So we were all African American dudes. It was 6 of us, and we were all producers in our own right. And under the guidance of Gil Smith and AP, man, they cultivated like this sound that they wanted us to create and build. And in my right, me as the guitarist, the bass player, drummer, we all brought our sauce, what we did, and man, we cultivated like a crazy sound, a crazy movement, man. It was crazy. It's still nothing that I hear is like it. Even hearing like the K-pop bands now, it still does not touch the magic and the energy that was happening in that. But I was a student of the game during that time. Like, that was the biggest stage, dude. We was doing 80,000 people a night. Not, oh, yeah, this whole week, that's how many people we did this week. Nah, we had Thursday, Friday, Saturday show, or a Friday, Saturday, Sunday show, or a Friday, Saturday. It was about 80,000 people per night. And that rush, that energy, those crowds, those fans, it was crazy. But we already know that Asia, like, their technology, their mental force, everything is, like, very different than what we experience here. Like, there are some tech heads for sure.
Yeah.
But even in how they put their shows together and the technology of, I think they had 8K screens back in 2014, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So when America started getting 6K, I was like, I've already seen 8K before. Y'all late, you know what I'm saying? But just being so forward in music and style and fashion and what was coming. When I was coming back to America, when we had our little breaks, man, people were looking at me like I was crazy. Because I had a blonde mohawk, I had a blonde beard back in the day, and people just thought I was crazy. I had tattoos. I was getting a tattoo in every country we were going into, you know, just to absorb the energy of that culture, you know. So, yeah, man, that has cultivated me a lot in how I move and how I produce music, how I am on stage, because I've learned the art of performance. I learned the art of structure. When I play, I learned when to give, when not to give. So that K-pop world was just different, man. The respect, the human being respect from just the Asian community is totally different. So I brought a lot of that stuff back here. I still feel like I'm an alien here in America, though. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I still feel like an alien here.
Do you feel like you'd be comfortable playing back overseas with the people in the crowds you know, or do you feel like you're back again to the whole you're being adaptive?
I'm being adaptive, and I'm just learning the art of relating. You know what I'm saying? It's different fans, but fans are fans. Like that system of Asia and how their fans are is totally different than what our fans are here.
Could you give an example or two?
For example, every show we would do overseas, somebody's bringing us a gift. The band, just because we are associated with their favorite artists. So it's a total different thing than playing with just being a backing musician for artists here in America. Like they might know who you are, but you got on all black, so they don't see you back there. But you know that you are contributing. You know, here with MGK is different because I'm a front man.
Yeah,
So, and we're all on stage, and MGK, he says that we are Machine Gun Kelly. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's no separation in that. So when fans are approaching us now, like 9 times out of 10, they like, yo, can you sign our vinyl? Yo, can you sign my guitar? Can you sign my shirt? Hey, my son is playing guitar because of you now. So it's more of a it's more relatable here in America. Overseas, it was just so I don't want to use the word robotic. I don't.
you
Like,
felt do you feel like it was more of a formality?
yeah, it was a formality, but I also feel like I was cracking a different kind of code with understanding that those fans would never get to see their favorite art. There's no way like you're gonna be able to walk up to Blackpink and shake their hand. Never. But the best thing I can do is I can shake their hand as being affiliated with them. Mm-hmm. And that started blowing their mind, and I started realizing like, yo, that was the formula. Because everybody wants to be seen, whether you Asian or American. I'm sorry. Like you just want to be seen. You want to be heard. So I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anybody. I wanted to make sure I noticed everybody. And that started making them bring us crazy gifts, man, jewelry. Like, yo, where are you guys eating? Can we just say that we're in the same restaurant as y'all? Not creepy though.
No, 100%.
Here in America, it gets creepy, man.
No, yeah, I mean,
it
like,
gets creepy.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Like, I mean, I don't want to bring up any names, but we seen what happened to that one dude that at the chicken spot.
Yep. All of that stuff, man. Like we even had it where somebody found out where our bus was, and they went out and spray painted a penis on it.
And the crazy thing about it, bro, is that it's not even that serious, man.
It's not, man.
But people here in America are a lot more passionate to lean towards their feelings and be like, okay, we really don't like that guy. And one takeaway I want to take away from this story that you're bringing up is the fact that MGK is like, no, we're Machine Gun Kelly, because you see a lot of single artists, bro, and then like you said, they're just band playing in the back supporting, but they're on stage doing their thing, whatever, right? But the fact that he's able to expose y'all to that community and give y'all guys the recognition that deserves is something that people don't credit Machine Gun Kelly enough.
They don't, man. Thank you, Kels, for that, man. Every time he does that, I think it's special. Because people do they separate it. But at the same time, like, we know who the guy is.
No, 100%.
We know you the man, but the fact that he comes out and he says, no, we're Machine Gun Kelly, every time he does that, I'm like, that's love. Because
he didn't have to do that.
Yeah, and artists don't do that. They don't want to do that. They want it to be about them. But he's always like, yo, I got to go sign these vinyls, man. I want y'all to come with me. Hey, man, can y'all come be with me? Like, he wants us to move as a band force. And I personally appreciate that about him.
No, for sure. I think there's power in that, in the sense that he is providing that leadership, that guidance that y'all guys need to get that exposure as individual artists into the masses, so that people are like, oh, you were on this song with this guy. Oh, I've seen you work. Why? Because, maybe Machine Gun Kelly brought y'all guys out and acknowledged y'all's talent on the ground stage. Yeah. That's kind of like getting a letter of recommendation from a teacher to go to college.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. And me just being affiliated with these artists and providing like an exceptional job and just giving them like an an elevated experience at what I do is what's opening up the other doors for this and this. Hey, we want you to do our club. Can you come by and like make an appearance here? Hey, or even like the Dallas Mavericks stuff. Like all of those things just start opening up other opportunities and doors because they see what's happening.
I'm glad you mentioned the Dallas Mavericks because that was actually my next question. How did that come along, and how did it feel being at the American Airlines Center playing for the crowd in your home city?
My face says it all. Nah, but seriously, man, like tapping into that Dallas Maverick energy, man, it was next level for a few reasons, but everybody loves sports. And at that time, having Luka, it was the fans were crazy, just the Mavericks fans. So even me tapping into that energy, man, shout out to my man White T, who was like the connector and like making that stuff happen. Because we were doing the Dallas Stars for a minute.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was doing the Dallas Stars. They was bringing me in as a special guest to do the national anthem like a couple of times.
Oh, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. So then the Dallas Mavericks started getting wind of it, and it was like, yo, we're kind of mad that you didn't come here and do ours first, and it's all just love, But I ended up doing the national anthem, I think once. I did the national anthem once, and it was approaching like the playoff season. And that's when something else ended up opening, and they asked me to redo the intro song that they came out to. It has never been touched in I believe 26 years.
Yeah.
And a few players were wanting or going to Mark Cuban like, hey, yo, can we change the song? Like, can we get an updated song or something new? Because that song is like, yo, it's a legendary song just for the franchise of the Mavericks.
Yeah.
They've always used that song, So they approached me on it, and they asked me, hey, man, can you retouch it? Can you revamp it? And I was like, yeah, cool, sure. How y'all want it to feel? What y'all want it to say? Like, what's the energy? Those are always my questions. How do you want it to feel? What do you want to say? And it's my job to bring that to life. Man, they gave me the little notes and the version that everybody hears, because this is still the same version that they come out to now.
Yeah.
Man, it was a demo version. I sent them like, hey, here's my ideal of what I'm thinking. And it's like, hey, this is great. We'll roll with this. I'm like, wait, no, I wasn't finished yet. Like, I still got ideas. They was like, no, dude, this is great. This is all we need. And I was like, okay. But it was like knowing when to stop and when just to be like, okay, cool. And then the other kicker was, hey, when are you going on tour again? I'm like, I'll be here for a minute. Can you do it live? Cool, let's do it live. Okay, we're not going to tell Mark Cuban. I'm like, all right. And Mark Cuban didn't know that this new song had been made, man. So I'm getting the pep talk from my boy, and he's like, all right, man, we got to make this special. I'm like, I got you. It's cool. And I was able to highlight one of my friends who's like been a seamstress since we were in college, man. And I was like, yo, I'm getting ready to tap into a very special moment. I would like to have you to design me something. Like, I want to put you on a map. Shout out to Chelsea DeGray. Dallas based, man. And I wanted her to see that, man, your stuff is fire. So she made me like this emerald green suit, dude. And then she flipped out this jersey that was like a vintage jersey of Dirk. Shout out to Dirk. And man, she killed it. And I played a guitar that matched it, and we ripped it, man. And I got up there and I did the redo of the song. Boom, 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 boom. We jumped off stage. They say, hey, go this way. We went one way and it was the wrong way. But the wrong way was the right way, because the right way ended up taking us right to Mark Cuban. And Mark Cuban greeted me with a big hand clap and was like, badass. And I was like, in there. That was that check mark you need, you know what I'm saying? For him being a part of the association that long and him getting surprised with something like that was created by me. Like, man, I was just thrilled. That was a blessing for me in that moment. Like, yo, I know this hard work. I believe in what I do. It's just about people knowing who I am and knowing what I can bring. I brought that to them, and that was something they started expecting. And they was like, can you do the whole playoff season? I was like, let's go. And then word got around like I was like the good luck charm.
Yeah.
And we kept getting to the next round. And we kept getting to the next round. And then next thing you know, I'm like, yo, we are at the finals. I was looking at my assistant like, yo, dude. And we used to ball together back in high school.
Yeah.
And we balled for 4 years together, man. And one of my dreams was to go to the NBA, you know. And it was just funny sitting there on the side court with him, and we're looking at each other like, we still made it to the court, you know? Not in the way that we wanted to, but, yo, we still made it there at that level with all of the press, all the lights and cameras. It was nothing to me, though. It was kind of like, yo, it's showtime. Like, let's give them a show, you know?
No, for sure.
But it was great to bring, like, the rock star energy to the NBA.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So, a couple more questions before we wrap this up. So, aside from the punk rock that you're doing with MGK and then the K-pop stuff, what other genres of music do you want to tap into more to show that dynamic range that you have as a guitar player?
Oh, man. You know what? I don't think I'm trying to tap into another dynamic now as a guitarist. I think I am excited about exposing myself as a producer. You know, like even one of the artists that I'm contemplating on signing, he's more like a blues rock, you know, awesome guitars, you know, and I'm like, yo, let me tap into that world. I've been tapping into like Afro beats lately. Afro beats is big, lo-fi energy, all of those things.
Yeah, for sure.
That are just, you know, cater to the people's healing. I go back to that again, you know. But yeah, man, I wanna tackle everything. Like I said, I've already done every genre, except like, you know,
Country.
I have done country.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I've done country. A good buddy of mine by the name of High Jackson. I just recently he's releasing a new project, and I did all the guitar production and some production work on that project. 10 songs, it's fire. But definitely he's introducing like the black cowboy energy, you know? So, and then I released a couple of records. I did some country records back in the day with a couple of artists. Released one with like Chrisette Michelle. We did one called like Tennis She Shot, which was a great one back in like 2014, 15-ish. But yeah, man, I've tapped into everything, and I think after this little scene, I might go to Nashville for a little bit and just kind of tap in on like my production and my writing. I love writing, dude. I love storytelling. I love storytelling with my instrument. All of those things, you know. So production is like where I want to lead to. Guitar, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What lane I tap into. I think right now I just want to get a part of an organization that sees what I bring, and they want to like really utilize me, because I know how to do a lot of stuff.
Oh, I'm sure.
Within the live entertainment world and producer world, you know. So I'm ready to lock in with an artist that's excited and ready to get out there. Yo, I feel like I'm one of the dopest producers. You know what I'm saying? And I want the world to know that. I want the artist that doesn't have a producer to hit me up and say, look, can you take me back to the Janet Jackson and Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis era, you know, where they were spending time with the artists.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with it now, man, and just trying to tap in more on the production side.
Yeah, so okay, we're just gonna run through these real quick. I mean, I just want to get your opinion on maybe three important lessons. Three important lessons you learned throughout this career journey. What are some of them?
Build genuine relationships. Show up prepared. Stay centered. Stay centered, man. Because if you're not, like, this world, not just the entertainment world, but the world will eat you alive. And you'll send yourself spiraling, man. Again, with my drive being mental health, like, I'm trying to provide my followers and the people that follow me or listen to what I have to say, I'm trying to give them tools to keep them from spiraling mentally, you know? So, yeah, those are three things that I would say that are very pivotal.
What is the craziest thing you've done on stage that was not planned?
Oh, man, that wasn't planned. Man, I used to do these things where I would like lay out on the floor, man, and just start spinning around, going crazy on guitar. And that's like nobody knows what Justin is gonna give them when we go out there. But that was something that wasn't planned before. Just getting out on the stage and like going crazy, and then like end up like just kind of like ripping my whole inside of my pants. which I thought was a part of like some real rock star energy. You know what I'm saying? But nothing is ever planned. You know what I'm saying? Anytime I go out on set, I don't know what I'm gonna give them. I feel like the music just kind of takes over. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
I know that's probably a boring.
No. I was thinking about like a mic stand breaking over somebody.
Dude, yeah, like
You see, because like for me, my experience with, like when I was in middle school, I grew up listening to metalcore, screamo. I grew up listening to all of that in middle school. So Asking Alexandria, Blackville Bryce to an extent, Scary Kids, Silverstein,
wow.
Bless the Fall. I grew up listening to that. I got my MP3 player from middle school. It's one of these little tiny black ones, bro, where you could record songs off the radio from time to time with it. I still have the battery sucks, by the way, because it's damn near 20 years old at this point. But that's where I grew. That's where my music started from, in a sense. But before that, I grew up listening to had a big ass radio in my room. Never turned it off. I always just lowered it down. K104, 97.1, 97.9. Yep. We had 102.1,
105.7,
105.7.
Yep.
Had all those on the 5 little presets.
Wow.
Yeah, never turned it off.
Wow.
Always had an ear for music, man. I was like, man, I'm gonna listen to everything that my city has to offer.
Wow. So how'd you stay sane with like consuming like a lot of the screamo energy? Cause like that's like real. It can be real aggressive.
Personally, I think it was in the lyrics. I think it was in the lyrics, and to be able to listen to a bunch of screamo, and then sometimes you're screaming, sometimes you're listening to the actual music itself.
For sure.
But to be honest with you, it just depends, man, because sometimes I like pulling up lyrics. So like, let's say I'm listening to As I Lay Dying. It's all growls and deep growls and, the whole lyrics. But then you're reading the lyrics and then you're listening to the words and you're like, oh shit, this is kind of hard.
Yeah, man.
But it's all in the lyrics, man. But I don't think I was ever one of those people who listened to that kind of music and said, oh yeah, my life sucks. My life sucks. I thought it was like, damn, I take a lot of pride in knowing that I appreciate the artists playing the instruments, singing up there, doing their voice like that, instead of like listening to music where 9 times out of 10 you go catch them at a show live, they're playing over their fucking track.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know, because I mean, I know some artists now learning that they kind of need that to like know where they're at.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think as younger me, I took more appreciation in knowing that bands were out there playing their music live instead of just playing over a track.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because we pride ourselves on doing it live. Like Kels will say in a minute, like, no, we're not playing to a track. Like, we want to do this live. Like, what do you think we practice this stuff for? And I'm
exactly.
Like, 100%. Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, it's all fun and games, man, and it's a high level of expertise, man. And even I just thought of something when you mentioned about the mic stand falling over. The craziest thing that I did do on the tour, I was playing with Blackpink, and I got like this yellow wig, and it was long. I put on some wings, and I put on these tight pants, man, and I played that show like I was some kind of angel. And like my band members didn't know. They didn't know. I was just like, you know what? Tonight I'm gonna do this. It's been brewing in me. I'm gonna do this. Man, I did it. Blackpink. I gotta send you the video for that. of Blackpink. They end up seeing that, was like, oh my gosh, she's our little angel, and they just start stripping me on stage. One took the wig, the other one took the glasses, the other one took the wings, and they just ran off with it. And it was a real cool moment, and it was a DVD moment. Like, oh dude, I've shot like over 25 DVDs with just the K-pop organization, man. So that was special. Yeah,
that's got to be a beautiful moment. That's gonna live in your head forever, man.
For sure, man.
Especially on the internet too. Like, I'm sure somebody's gonna pull up that clip after they will see this, or at least see the short form content piece that we just talked about. Yeah, and be like, oh shit, I gotta go look that shit up now. And they're gonna be like, yo, what the fuck?
I was wild, man. Even when I pulled out some black wings, when I was doing Lil Wayne, and I heard a couple of guys like in our in-ears like, what this dude doing, man? Like, you think this a Victoria's Secret? Like, what is this? And for me,
on your ass.
But for me, I was like, how do I approach this hip hop community? Because I didn't know how to approach the hip hop community. You know, like my first show, I think with Wayne, I had on an astronaut suit. Man, I was sweating so in that thing, man. But this night I put on the wings and everybody was in the ears like, man, what this dude doing? Wayne walked out there and like, yeah, yo, that's dope. Hey, I fuck with this dude right here. And then it came a moment and I was like, I just trusted what I gave. You know what I'm saying?
Wayne takes us to the back and is like, hey, I just saved your ass.
No, man. That's good.
He's like, hey, now you owe me a favor.
Yo, that's funny, man. That's so funny. But that was cool, man. That was cool. And then having a full circle moment when he started working with MGK, and then we had a moment again that was special. So, yeah, that was good, bro.
Justin, it was a pleasure having you on the show, man. Before we let you go, anything you want to put out into the world, socials, tours, things people should check out, like, let's talk about it, man. Where can people get in contact with you?
Yeah, man. You can get in contact with me. My social media handles are definitely Guitarslayer24 at Guitarslayer24, Guitarslayer.com. Definitely get ready for the Guitarslayer brand. I'm building a few things for the community. I'm building a few things for this next wave of artists. I'm launching my artist development this year. I am going to be working on a school. I will be releasing a school that I'm excited about. The Mavericks have agreed to partner with me on it, so that's a hooray moment, you know. Also got a few things in the works with my book coming out and everything, just to prepare the next wave for how to tour, how to be a musician at a top elite level. Just a lot of answers out there that are floating around that need to be, a lot of questions to be answered, you know? And I think that I can answer those things for a lot of these people, man. So, yeah, I'm around Guitarslayer24. My production, you can follow me at Just Hits 24. And I'll be launching like a new organization, a new community for guitarists as well, man.
Oh man,
I'm just trying to do my outreach.
Oh, for sure. It sounds like you got. It sounds like you're gonna be busy, man. Next few months.
Yeah, man. It don't stop, and I'm excited about it. You know.
No, for sure. Because I mean, like, and it's funny. This is probably in every other culture, but when I talk to the Hispanic community that came up before me, they're always like, "Oh, sí, qué bueno para tener trabajo," which means, man, it's so good to have work.
Wow.
You know why? Because idle hands keep fuck, how did that saying go? Oh yeah, idle hands do the devil's bidding.
Wow. That's deep.
No, for sure, man. Man, I know we were gonna wrap up soon, but I did see something about an album that you had going on. Well, tell me more about the album.
Yeah, man, the album is called Believe. I made it during the time where I felt like people just probably stopped believing in whatever they was believing in. And I wanted to make something from every song on that album, like why you should believe again, you know. My favorite record on there is No Now. My second favorite on there is maybe Pressure. It's like track number 9. It's Pressure. But I got something on there for everybody, whether you need a record in the gym to work out to, or you just want to take a ride. I got a few albums. I got Bus Chronicles. That's the one I was making while on tour. And every record that I made, I was on the bus. That's why it's called Bus Chronicles. You know?
For sure.
And then I got my Lost project that I made back in the day, just like guitar. Just that was really guitar heavy and just really highlighting my composition energy.
You know what's crazy? I don't think you should drop that Lost album until maybe a couple more years. And the reason I say that is because now that let's say 5 years from now, your fan base is gonna be like, oh shit, this was him back in the day. Damn, this shit's crazy. I can't believe. I wish I was there for that. And then there's gonna be some people that are gonna be like, oh yeah, I've been listening to him since he was doing this, capping and shit. Capping.
That's real, man. But I'm most excited about this Believe. The last project was Believe. It was not in guitar. It was not guitar inspired whatsoever. It was all just production. I produced everything. Played everything. I even introduced my vocals on that project. So that's what made it really special. My other projects, I wasn't like introducing my vocals on it.
It was more so just, how would you describe your other projects?
Instrumental storytelling. Yeah, instrumental storytelling. So you can create your own narrative to it, you know.
Makes sense, sense. Man, that sounds pretty good. I like that. I think one of my favorite guitar players growing up as a kid was Buckethead.
Buckethead, word.
Have you heard of Buckethead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
Takes you back a little bit, huh?
Throwback.
Like, I remember seeing some old ass YouTube videos of, him going off or just listening to some of his tracks. Wow. And I was like, damn, this is going crazy.
Somebody who else would probably blow you away, that's guitar with tricks, like some Stanley Jordan.
Oh, shit.
Listen to Stanley or watch a video of him. I think you'll be more impressed, and then it'll probably loop you into enjoying it.
Justin, it was a pleasure, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show, man.
Thank you for this, man. This is special, man. I love the setup, and you're dope.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, thank you. All right, we're going to catch you guys on the next one. We'll see you then. Peace. Right there. One more time. I got to get those. All right. Now, fuck yeah. Go. Peace.
Peace.
Look at us.